Good day, everybody. Rob Tomlinson, aka DishNet34 here, welcoming you to today's episode of This Week in Perfect Team, episode number 196. And let me be probably not the first to say, but happy opening day of the MLB season. Oh my goodness, what an exciting day, both here in baseball and for Perfect Team. This is going to be a fantastic day. Who's on the back, you might ask? Well, I don't know if you can see it. It's my old Justin Verlander jersey right there. Oh, I've had this one for like so many years. Oh man. Yeah, I love that Erlander fella. yeah, the Mets co-ace. Yeah, let's call him that now, I guess. Oh man, but in the words of the great Ernie Harwell, for lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. Opening day, every team in Major League Baseball playing today. Hopefully, weather stuff not withstanding. But this is going to be pretty cool stuff here on This Week in Perfect Team as well. This is going to be a good time, y'all. All right. I'm hoping that y'all enjoy this today and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just rambling on at this point. Let's do it. We'll start off with a little bit of news and notes. The big news today is that leaderboard tracking will begin on Monday. Yes, leaderboards for the Perfect Team tournaments officially begin on Monday, April 3rd. Leaderboards, once again, will be in 10 different categories. The 7 types of daily tournaments, weekly tournaments, daily perfect draft, and weekly perfect draft. And depending on how you do in tournaments, you'll get points toward the PTCS standings in the category that you played in. So top 128 teams in each of those 10 categories go on to the PTCS, which will happen once a month like we did last year. Now, those at the top of the leaderboards win perfect points each week. So, first will be 50,000 perfect points. Second will be 35,000 perfect points. Third and fourth will get 25,000 perfect points. And 5th through 10th will get 15,000 perfect points. Pretty cool stuff right there. Always a fun time with these leaderboards in tournaments. I'm never going to get into a PTCS. I'll just be honest with you on that. But, it'd be pretty cool if it happens sometime. Just saying. All right, let's go ahead and move on here now. With opening day here, everybody's getting back into the swing of baseball. And, for a lot of people, that includes baseball statistics. And what better way to celebrate MLB opening day with a subscription to StatHead Baseball powered by Baseball Reference. You can use code 23OOTP25 for $25 off the annual subscription cost for baseball or all sports subscriptions. $25 off. This is a crazy offer right here, y'all. This is an awesome offer. I use StatHead a lot. I know a lot of people on the Out of the Park staff use StatHead a lot for a lot of their research needs. So it's pretty cool stuff. And, 23 OTP 25 at checkout gets you $25 off an annual subscription. This is a pretty darn good deal, if you ask me. Offer expires July 1st, 2023. So, if you're the procrastinating type like me, you might want to think about getting on this deal as quick as you can. Because, it's only going to be here for another 3 months, roughly. So, Yeah, Stathead Baseball, code 23OTP25 at checkout, $25 off. All right, folks, let's get into the meat and potatoes of tonight, and that is our first set of Topps cards for the Perfect Team 24 cycle Topps Dream Bracket set number 1. And let me tell you, guys, this is probably, it's early. It is early. This is probably going to be one of, probably going to be right up there as one of my favorite content sets of the year. And of course, it's early. My mind can be changed, but this is going to be pretty cool stuff right here. Yeah, best set of the year so far. Best set of the year so far. So, first things first, let's talk about what the Topps mission program will be. Now, there will be a mission related with the Topps set that will be released tonight with a topper for collecting cards from tonight's set. Now, the mission will be a points-based mission. You won't have to collect all of the cards in the mission to complete it. Now, there's going to be multiple Topps releases throughout the year. This is just the first one. But it's not all going to be the same setup. So keep your eyes peeled for when we do the next set sometime down the line. Now, there's going to be a second mission also released today that will reward you with a code for some really sweet rewards in Topps Bunt for collecting just one of the Topps cards in Perfect Team 24. And redeeming that code in the Topps Bunt app will give you 100,000 coins, 10 Series 1 baseball packs. That's a pretty awesome deal. Limit one code per user right there. And let me tell you folks, that there's a lot of us on our staff that have, and I will read this verbatim from my notes here, that have, shall we say, borderline unhealthy obsessions with it. Take that as you will, but it's still pretty fun. Still pretty fun. Yep, and there is a link to the Bunt app in the chat, bit.ly/OOTP-Bunt23. So that's pretty cool stuff right there. But yeah, a couple of missions being released tonight, including one to get you a code for rewards in Topps Bunt 23. And of course, Nico has a spin now. Of course he does. Alrighty, so there we go. So let's go ahead and get started with the cards tonight. And that's going to be after the 1 o'clock edition of this stream. So those missions should be coming out right after this stream ends at 1 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And with this replay, it's going to be all over the place with we'll just move on. So let's go ahead and get started with our first card of the night. Now, these cards are based on players that played on the teams that were involved in MLB and OOTP's Dream Bracket 2 competition from back in 2020. Now, if you're not familiar with what Dream Bracket 2 was, it was kind of the second edition in a Dream Bracket series that was done the previous year back in 2019. But this was a lot bigger than that one in 2019 because it came out kind of around during the pandemic times and we were trying to figure out, okay, where's all the baseball? But this time there were about 64 teams that competed, including a lot of historical MLB teams. There were a few Negro League teams in there. I believe there was one other team in there. I forget which one it was. I'd need to look it up again. But competing off in a bracket style format, best of 7 games to see who is the best team of all time, pretty much. It was pretty fun. There were box scores. There were articles on MLB.com and everything. It was pretty cool stuff. And we have cards that were done specifically by Topps for this particular event. So let's go ahead and get started with our first card of the evening. And it comes from a very historic historical Yankees team that participated in the tournament, the 1961 New York Yankees. And that, my friends, is 50 overall. Yes, we got iron cards here tonight as well, y'all. 50 overall, Bobby Richardson from the 1961 Yankees. Now, you're probably wondering, hey Dish, why is there just a card on the screen? Why are they horizontal? You know, they show up vertical. Well, here's the thing. So there's going to be a lot of horizontal cards in this set. Now, for what it's worth, they're going to show up vertically when you open a card. Now, not all of the Topps cards that we're going to be releasing during this program are going to be this horizontal style. There will be some vertical cards that are naturally vertical as well. These just happened to be horizontal. So keep that in mind as we go forward, because let's go ahead and take a look at the stats on this card. 51 BABIP, 12 power, 107 avoid K, 60 contact, 41 gap, and 26 on the eye. Now, he's a little bit better against lefties here. 64 BABIP, 13 power, 115 avoid K. That's a lot of avoid K right there. 78 contact, 49 gap, and 35 on the eye. Defensively, 51 range, 65 error, 32 arm, and 85 on the turn double play. So maybe not exactly the best defensive player out there, but still, it's not terrible. 54 speed, 53 stealing, 79 on the base running. 1961 season for Bobby Richardson. You know, a lot of people were talking about, Maris and Mantle that year. Well, Bobby Richardson, he was there. 261, 295, 316 on his slash line that year. 3 home runs, 49 RBI, negative .7 WAR, which, it was there. He was there. But he was a Gold Glover that year, with a 30-23 walk to strikeout ratio. And here's the kicker. In that 1961 World Series, his bat was absolutely on fire. Hit .391 in the 1961 World Series. That's pretty darn good record right there. Bobby Richardson is a second baseman. That is the case. Couldn't quite have a place to put the position on, but that might be something we'll consider for the future here. Dream Bracket. Now, with this being based on the Dream Bracket, I figured, you know what, might as well kind of shout out how these cards performed during the Dream Bracket competition that happened in 2020. So that's why we have those Dream Bracket stats up here as well. Now, Richardson hit just 250 in the Dream Bracket, no homers, 2 RBI. Now, Richardson's 2 RBIs came against the 1979 Angels in Game 2 of Round 1 of the competition, and another one against the Homestead Grays in Game 2 of Round 2. The 61 Yankees eventually lost in the round of 16 in 5 games to the 2004 Red Sox. So, Yankees losing to 04 Red Sox checks out. So there you go. Bobby Richardson, big avoid K kind of guy, a little bit of contact here and there. He is in. Perfect team. 24. And yes, we do have real pictures on the card. Honestly, that's what makes this even more special. This is pretty darn good right there. All right, next up we go to a little bit more of a modern-ish team, and we go to 2015. Now, the cream of the crop in that 2015 season were the Kansas City Royals, and we have their catcher right here for you on this next card. Ladies and gentlemen, 55 overall, Salvador Perez from the 2015 Kansas City Royals. Now, if you know what Salvador Perez has done in his career, there's going to be a little bit of pop in this bat right here. 53 BABIP, 68 power, 71 void K, 67 contact, 51 gap power. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a 12i. That is a 12i right there. Woo! But he is a lot better against righties than he is against lefties. 58 BABIP, 75 power, 71 avoid K, 74 contact, 50 gap, and 14 on the eye, which, you know, a little bit higher than his usual eye. That's still pretty darn good. Now, I will advise, please, 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 please do not play him against lefties. 37 BABIP, 47 power, 71 avoid K, 45 contact, 55 gap, and just a 5 on the eye. When I can use just one hand to tell you how much eye is on a card, that might be a problem. Catcher ability of 49, catcher arm of 61. Don't have him base run, like, at all. 2015 season for Salvi, 260 average, 280 on base, 426 slugging. So, you know, he still had a lot of pop in the bat. Not a whole lot of good plate discipline, but, you know, didn't strike out too often, I guess. 21 homers, 70 RBI, and 2.4 wins above replacement. He was an all-star in the 2015 season, won a gold glove, and this was actually the first 20-plus homer season of his career. Threw out 31% of base stealers as well, so that's why he got a little bit of arm on that as well. Now, in the Dream Bracket competition, he went 273 with 1 homer and 4 RBI, and that home run came against Jamie Moyer of the 2001 Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of their first round matchup in a 12-7 win. That's pretty darn good right there, you know, hitting a grand slam against slightly old Jamie Moyer. Now, the Royals, unfortunately, did lose that series 4-2 in the first round of that of the Dream Bracket tournament, so better luck next time, I guess. So there you go. Salvador Perez, big power guy, not a lot of walks. He is in. Perfect team. 24. All right, next up. Let's go to the pitcher's mound. Let's go to the pitcher's mound and go to probably, you know, one of the better Dodgers teams of all time. And that would be the 1977 LA Dodgers. For this right-handed starter, was kind of an unsung hero in that Dodgers rotation that year, and that is 59 overall, Don Sutton. From the LA Dodgers, right-handed starting pitcher. Ooh, look at that. Look at that card right there. Look at Don Sutton there. It's awesome to have actual, real, historical pictures on these cards. Oh my God. Ah! Oh goodness. Let's take a look at Sutton's stats here. 62 stuff, 59 movement, 54 homer, 82 BABIP. That's a pretty good pitcher BABIP right there. 82 overall there. And 65 on the control. This is not a bad iron card right here. Has a little bit of better stats in a lot of categories against lefties here. 63 stuff, 61 movement overall, 56 homer, 83 pitcher BABIP, 62 on the control. Fastball, slider, curveball, screwball, and changeup combo on this card right here. A little bit serviceable against righties as well. 61 stuff, 57 movement, 53 homers, 80 BABIP, and 68 on the control. So you're going to get a little more control against right-handed batters here. Stamina of 83, hold runners of a 31. Now, 1977 season for Don Sutton, a pretty darn good one, all things considered. Went 14-8, 3.18 ERA during that 1977 season, his age 32 season, by the way. 240 innings, had 5.6 strikeouts per 9, 2.6 walks per 9, had an ERA plus, if I can get Baseball Reference to do what I wanted to do here, ERA plus of 121, which is not a bad number at all. He was the All-Star Game MVP for the National League that year. His 4.5 WAR was the 5th highest in his career. Now, his dream bracket performance was a little bit unlucky. The 77 Dodgers lost to the 2019 Nationals in the first round of the dream bracket in 6 games. Don Sutton pitched just 1 game in this one. He did have 6 strikeouts and 2 earned runs in 7 innings, but offense just didn't show up for the Dodgers in that game that he pitched. Took the L in 7 innings pitched in that game. So, bit of a hard luck performance there for Don Sutton. But you know what? His overall performance in that real-life 1977 season, not bad at all. So there you go. Don Sutton from the 1977 LA Dodgers is in Perfect Team 24. All right, so good stuff there. Let's move on to our next card of the evening, and it's going to be our first bronze card. Our first bronze card of the day. I almost said evening, even though it's going to be evening with the replay today. Let's stay in the NL West for this one, and we go out to lovely San Diego for our next card of the day. We go to the 1998 edition of those San Diego Padres, and I don't know if Alex Murray is in chat right now, but he might be very interested in this next card. And yeah, we got confirmation in the chat. Alex likes this card. Alex likes this card a lot, folks, because it is 1998 63 overall Steve Finley from the 1998 San Diego Padres center field card. Ooh, boy, Steve Finley. Let's take a look at his stats right here. 57 BABIP, 49 power, 70 avoid K, 62 contact, 84 gap, and 47 on the eye. Now, this guy, more of a platoon guy than anything. You're gonna have a lot more success with him against righties. 60 BABIP, 52 power, 75 avoid K, 67 contact, 85 gap, and 50 on the eye just against righties. Center fielder by trade. He is qualified to learn right field. 76 range, 63 error, 80 on the outfield arm. I mean, it's not terrible for center fielder. You might want to have a little bit more defense out there in center field, but if you have this guy in center, it's not going to be that terrible. It might be a little bit terrible, but there's a lot of worse options for center field defensively out there. 57 speed, 79 stealing, 75 on the base running. Kind of more of a platoon guy against righties, more than likely. 1998 season for Steve Finley, he hit 249, 301, 401 with 14 home runs, 67 RBI, and exactly 0 wins above replacement this year. So a little bit of a down year for Steve Finley, although he was kind of getting up there in age for that season. Steve Finley, he was 33 in that 1998 season. And actually, this is a career high in strikeouts for him with 103, but he's still pretty decent. Played 159 games that year. Led the Padres that year with 40 doubles. And he had a walk-off grand slam during the season as well. So he had a couple of highlights during this season. Now in his dream bracket performance, he hit 220 with 1 homer and 2 RBI, and that homer came against the 2012 San Francisco Giants. That was a pretty cool highlight for the 98 Padres in that series as well. Yeah, 40 doubles, 67 RBI, and no wins above replacement. Yeah, you can definitely chalk that up to his negative 1.4 defensive wins above replacement that year. The third lowest of his career. Yeah, that was his fluke year in the middle of his prime. Yep, that's true. That's true. 11 on the sack bunt and 52 on the bunt for hit as well. So there you go. Steve Finley, 63 overall from the 1998 San Diego Padres, is in. Perfect team. 24. All right, next up, let's go north. And you know what happens when I say the word north? That means we are going to Canada for our next card, and we go to the Toronto Blue Jays, and specifically their 1985 squad. I believe that 1985 squad, the first one to make the playoffs in Blue Jays history, and this guy was a big part of that 1985 team, maybe a bit of an unsung member of that rotation. And that, my friends, is left-handed starting pitcher Jimmy Key, 65 overall from the 85 Blue Jays. We're talking a young Jimmy Key right here, folks. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats here. 49 stuff, 71 movement, 64 homer. Here's a key stat here, 89 on the pitcher BABIP, 79 control as well. It's got kind of even splits against lefties and righties here. 50 stuff, 73 movement, 65 homer, 90 P BABIP, 73 control against lefties, 49 stuff, 71 movement, 64 homer, 88 P BABIP, and 80 control against righties. This isn't bad splits right here, y'all. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup combo on his pitching repertoire. 84 stamina and 79 on the hold runners. This guy's really going to control opposing BABIP right here, y'all. This is a good one right here. 1985 season. This was Jimmy Key's first real full rotation season. He had 63 games in the 1984 season, but this was the first year he was really, solidified into that Blue Jays rotation where he would be until 1992. Went 14-6 during the regular season and even 3 on the ERA, 3.6 strikeouts per 9, 2.1 walks per 9, and a 141 ERA plus. This was his first All-Star selection out of the 5, I should say, he had in his career, and finished 3rd on the Toronto Blue Jays in wins above replacement. Now in the dream bracket, Key and the 1985 Blue Jays faced the 1931 Homestead Grays. However, he was a bit outdueled by some guy named Satchel Paige in Game 2 of that series in a 7-0 loss. He went 5 1/3 with 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts in that matchup against the Grays in Dream Bracket 2. So Key, a bit of a hard luck loss there, but offense just didn't show up for the Blue Jays in that unfortunately. I believe they did lose that series to the Grays. So there you go. Jimmy Key, pretty good pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. In. Perfect team. 24. All right, next up, let's go back out west and let's talk a little bit about those 2002 Anaheim Angels, the World Series champions that year. And, they had quite a few spark plugs in that 0-2 lineup, and this one was one of the biggest of them all. And that is our next card here, 66 overall, Darren Erstad from the 2002 Anaheim Angels. Ooh, look at that. Look at that card art right there. Look at that card art right there. Get your rally monkeys out and everything. Take a look at his stats here. 62 BABIP, 37 power, 78 avoid K, 66 contact, 57 gap, and 29 on the eye. This is a center field card for Mr. Erstad. 93 position rating in center field, 56 over at first base. He is qualified to learn left field as well. Defensively, this is pretty darn good right here. 90 range, 106 error, 81 on the arm. Now, this is a guy. You know, we talked about Steve Finley a little bit ago and how his defense was okay, I guess. This is a guy you definitely want in center field right here. 74 speed, 93 stealing, 79 base running, so shouldn't be too bad at stealing bases. He's definitely a little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. 61 BABIP, 39 power, 81 avoid K, 67 contact, 59 gap, and 32 I against righties alone. Now, the 2002 season for Darren Erstad, pretty darn good one right here. 283, 313, 389 on the slash line, 10 homers, 73 RBI, 6.3 wins above replacement. He was a Gold Glover that year, second highest WAR in his career, and no, that 6.3 WAR really inflated by his defensive wins above replacement. That is probably one of the biggest numbers I have seen in defensive wins above replacement. 4.2. 4.2 defensive wins above replacement. Absolutely insane how good he was at defense in 2002. In the dream bracket, however, hit just 227 with 1 homer and 2 RBI. Erstad's lone homer came in Game 5 of Round 1 against the 1983 Orioles, hitting it off of Mike Boddicker in the 4th inning in a 3-1 win. Now, while the 0-2 Angels would win that series in 7 games, they would get eliminated in Round 2 in a sweep by the 2011 Texas Rangers. So there you go. Darren Erstad, this is a pretty good defensive player right here. Probably, maybe a bench bat down the line, maybe someone that's going to be pretty good for like contact hitting in bronze tournaments potentially. It's not bad. Not a bad option. Darren Erstad, 0-2 Angels, in. Perfect team. 24. All right. Hey, speaking of those 2011 Texas Rangers that kicked the heck out of the 2002 Angels in the dream bracket, let's talk about them 2011 Rangers. Because, when you talk about the 2011 Rangers as a Tigers fan, there is one name in that lineup that Tigers fans have rued to this day. I still get flashbacks from that 2011 American League Championship Series. Because if you watch that 2011 ALCS, this guy absolutely ripped the heart out of Tigers fans, stopped it on the ground, put it back in, took it back out, and stomped on it again. And the guy who metaphorically did that was 2011 69 overall, a fitting overall for what he did to the Tigers, Nelson Cruz from the 2011 Rangers. Take a look at the stats. 56 BABIP, 84 power, 47 avoid K, 67 contact, 71 gap, and 49 on the eye. Look at the splits against lefties. 77 BABIP, 97 power, 42 avoid K, 83 contact, 71 gap, 67 on the eye. That's just against lefties. That's just against lefties, y'all. Holy cats. Now against righties, he has a little bit of pop in the bat against righties. Do you want to start him against righties? Maybe not. Maybe not. But overall, 56 BABIP, 84 power, 47 avoid K, 67 contact, 71 gap, 49 I. Defensively, 62 position rating in left, 54 position rating in right. A lot of Rangers fans wish that position rating was 55 in right field. Outfield range of 54. Again, Rangers fans, 55 range was hoping for. 49 error and 64 on the outfield arm, 59 speed, 46 stealing, and 50 on the base running. 2011 season for Nelson Cruz, this was a couple of seasons into his breakout of his career. 263, 312, 509, 29 home runs, 87 RBI, and 1.5 wins above replacement. 33 homers, 20 stolen bases in 2009 for Nelly. That's a good stat right there, but didn't have as many stolen bases in the 2011 season, so no, you're not going to get a lot of speed with that. He was the MVP of the ALCS. Hit 6 homers, 13 RBI, both of them postseason records to this day. Killing me. In the dream bracket, however, he had a lot of dingers as well. He had a lot of dingers in the dream bracket as well. 7 homers and 13 RBI with just a .238 batting average. Now, Cruz helped lead his Rangers teammates all the way, leading the team in homers in the tournament, ultimately losing in the round of 16 in Dream Bracket 2. So he did pretty good, led his team in homers in Dream Bracket play, 7 homers. That's like, oof, that's a lot of dingers right there. So there you go. Nelson Cruz, 69 overall from the 2011 Texas Rangers, is in Perfect Team 24. All right, let's get away from the Rangers and let's go to probably one of the best rotations of all time in baseball history, and that would be the 1995 Atlanta Braves. And when you talk about those Braves, you might talk about guys like Maddox and Smoltz, and also this third guy in the rotation who is our next card of the day, and that, my friends, is 70 overall Tom Glavine from the 1995 Atlanta Braves. Take a look at his stats from that 1995 season. Went 16-7 with a 3.08 ERA, 5.8 Ks per 9, 3 walks per 9, a 137 ERA plus, 54 stuff, 113 movement, 112 homer rating, 65 pitcher BABIP, and 57 control. When you look at this card, I think the biggest thing you might see is his splits against lefties right here. 64 stuff, 128 movement. That's a lot of movement. 125 homer rating, 74 pitcher BABIP, which isn't that bad. And 60 control as well. Bit serviceable against righties as well, although, maybe not as good as he is against lefties. 51 stuff, 107 movement, 107 homers, 62 pitcher BABIP, and 56 on the control. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, sinker combo. Put a good defense behind him. Possibly in the outfield. And Tom Glavine could be a really, really good lefty guy in your rotation, maybe in some silver tournaments, maybe as like a number 5 starter in league play potentially, maybe. 75 stamina, 66 on the hold runners. He was second on Atlanta in wins above replacement during that 1995 season, and second on Atlanta in homers per 9.4. He only gave up 9 dingers during the regular season. It's crazy. That is crazy. Now, in the dream bracket, he got kind of hit around a little bit. Finished 2-4 record, a 5.13 ERA. Now, Glavine's 2 wins came in the round of 16 against the 2019 Washington Nationals in a decisive Game 6, where he gave up just 2 runs in 6 innings during that game with 6 strikeouts, and in the round of 32 against the 0-4 Cardinals, where he pitched a scoreless inning of relief in the 10th inning with 1 strikeout, with the Braves ultimately walking it off in that round of 32 matchup with a Fred McGriff homer to reach the round of 16. Now, the 95 Braves would eventually lose in the quarterfinals against the 1986 New York Mets. But you know what? Tom Glavine, that 1995 season, pretty darn good. So there you go, 1995 Tom Glavine, 70 overall, in perfect team 24. All right, next up on the docket, let's go back out to Washington for this one. Let's go to Washington here, and we go to the 2012 Nationals. And let me tell you, that was a sensational team. You know, the first time that the Nationals were actually good. And they were led by, you know, a lot of players, including this hotshot rookie that has been pretty darn good to this day, ladies and gentlemen, from the 2012 Washington Nationals, 73 overall, Bryce Harper. 73 overall, Bryce Harper. Let's take a look at his stats. 63 BABIP, 66 power, 60 avoid K, 71 contact, 72 gap, and 72 on the eye. A lot better against righties than he is against lefties. 64 BABIP, 68 power, 65 avoid K, 74 contact, 73 gap, and 78 on the eye. Pretty balanced card, all things considered. He can play left, he can play center, he can play right. All 3 outfield positions. That's pretty darn good. 81 range, 48 error, and 74 on the arm. 68 speed, 70 stealing, and 87 on the base running. Now Harper, in his rookie year, pretty darn good. 270 average, 340 on base, 477 slugging, 22 homers, 59 RBI, and 5.2 wins above replacement. He was the 2012 Rookie of the Year. He was an all-star, led Washington in runs scored that year, which is pretty cool. And in the dream bracket, hit a couple of homers, 7 RBI, hit 244 in the tournament. Now, both homers came in the first round against the 1935 Pittsburgh Crawfords in Game 1 and Game 4. Now, the 2012 Nationals eventually lost in the second round, round of 32, to the 1975 Reds. Now, Harper, pretty good stuff right here. Really good against righties. Lefties, a little bit dicey. 61 BABIP, 60 power, 45 avoid K, 59 contact, 69 gap, 54 eyes. So you're still going to get a little bit of gap power here. Maybe not as good performance against lefties. So there you go. Bryce Harper from the 2012 Washington Nationals in perfect team 24. All right, next up on the docket today, let's go back 1 year prior to 2012 to the 2011 season. And this was the year that in my estimation, the last year that the Arizona Diamondbacks were actually somewhat relevant in the playoffs. And, they had a lot of big boppers in that lineup, including this youngin' right here during that 2011 season, ladies and gentlemen. Our next card, 76 overall, Justin Upton. Ooh. Right field card from the 2011 Diamondbacks, 76 overall, Tigers legend, Justin Upton. Take a look at the card right here. 67 BABIP, 75 power, 57 avoid K, 76 contact, 76 gap, and 64 on the eye. Now, these are some really funky splits right here. Let's break it down here. So against righties, 49 BABIP, 86 power, 73 avoid K, 72 contact, 68 gap, and 89 on the eye. So you're going to get a lot of power, but you're not going to get a lot of BABIP against lefties here. However, against righties, it's a bit of a different story here. 72 BABIP, 72 power, 52 avoid K, 77 contact, 79 gap, and 56 on the eye. So you're going to get a lot more eye, a lot more power against lefties, but against righties, you're going to get a lot more BABIP, but a lot less eye or avoid K here. So there's a bit of a trade-off with this Justin Upton card right here. 74 range, 42 error, and 57 on the arm. He can play right field, is qualified to learn left field. 69 speed, 59 stealing, and 81 on the base running. And yeah, Justin Upton's rookie year was in 2007. I remember him being as one of the youngest players in MLB Power Pros 2008. And he would be the guy that we would have to edit for like every rookie if we wanted to do like a roster update because he was just so young. But there you go. Justin Upton, 289, 369, 529 with 31 homers during the 2011 season, 88 RBI, 5.5 wins above replacement. He was an all-star, Silver Slugger, finished 4th in NL MVP that year. This was the highest WAR season in his career at that 5.5 mark. And in the Dream Bracket, he had some really good performances. 308 average, 4 homers, 12 RBI. And those 4 homers included 2 against the 2019 Nationals in the round of 32, where the D-backs were eliminated in that tournament, in the Dream Bracket. So there you go. Justin Upton from the 2011 Arizona Diamondbacks is in. Perfect team. 24. All right, next up, I saw someone in the chat say earlier that that Justin Upton was a former Mariner. Speaking of the Mariners, let's go out to that Seattle Mariners. And let's go to probably one of the more iconic Mariner seasons of all time, that 1995 season. And they had a lot of great players on that team. But there was one guy that kind of, was very solid, maybe didn't get as much attention as some of the bigger names in that Seattle lineup in 1995, and that is our next card right here. First baseman from the Seattle Mariners, Tino Martinez. 77 overall first baseman. Take a look at his stats right here. 59 BABIP, 80 power, 63 avoid K, 74 contact, 79 gap, and 65 on the eye. Now, he's going to be a little bit better against lefties, but there's a couple of categories against righties where he is a little bit better. Versus lefties, 71 BABIP, 85 power, 49 avoid K, 80 contact, 82 gap, and 62 on the eye. And against righties, 55 BABIP, 78 power, 67 avoid K, 71 contact, 78 gap power, and 66 on the eye. I'm going to get a little bit more eye against righties, going to get a little bit more avoid K against righties, but you're going to get a lot more of everything else against lefties. Defensively over at first base, 56 range, 35 error, 40 infield arm, and 32 on the turn double play. Tino Martinez during that season, 293, 369, 551 with 31 homers, 111 RBI, and 4.5 wins above replacement. This is his first All-Star Game selection in 1995, and his first year with 30 homers and 100 or more RBI. Yeah, he didn't know how to run either. 6 speed, 6 stealing, 16 on the base running. Now Martinez, in the Dream Bracket, hit just 1 homer in 6 games, And it was actually his lone hit in the dream bracket, a 7th inning homer off of Dave McNally in a loss to the 1970 Orioles in Game 3 of the first round, where the 95 Mariners were defeated in 6 games. So Martinez a little bit quiet in that tournament, but he was pretty darn loud in 1995 for that very, very famous 95 Mariners team. He is in perfect team 24. All right, next up, speaking of breakout seasons, let's talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. That 2008 season, that magical 2008 season where they made it all the way to the World Series as their first year as the Tampa Bay Rays. And they were led by a pretty gosh darn good rookie that year that, spent a week in the minors, came up, and just absolutely tore the cover off the ball. Yes, it was 15 years ago, and that, my friends, was 79 overall, Evan Longoria from the 2008 Tampa Bay Rays. Evan Longoria, 64 BABIP, 81 power, 43 avoid K, 69 contact, 72 gap, and 65 on the eye. A little bit of interesting splits here. You're going to get a little more power against lefties, a little bit more avoid K, contact, gap power against righties, a little more BABIP against righties as well at that 67 mark, and you're going to get a little more eye against lefties at 71. Third base defense, pretty decent over there. 76 range, 71 error, 84 arm, and 80 on the turn double play. 23 speed, 83 stealing, and 36 on the base running. And yes, Evan Longoria still playing to this day this year for Arizona, I do believe. In that 2008 season for Evan Longoria, he hit 272, 343, 531 with 27 homers, 85 RBI, and 4.8 wins above replacement, being named the AL Rookie of the Year in 2008. He was an all-star that year as well. And he was the first rookie to hit home runs in his first 2 postseason at-bats. I don't believe anyone else has ever done that. In the dream bracket, though, he had just 2 hits in 5 games. They were a double off of 2004 Red Sox Pedro Martinez in Game 2 of that series, and a triple in Game 4 off of 2004 Tim Wakefield. Now the 2008 Rays would lose that first round series in 5 games. So there you go. Evan Longoria from the Tampa Bay Rays 2008 edition is in perfect team 24. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 10 more cards to reveal for y'all. Let's get right to the next one. And we go to that magical 2016 Chicago Cubs team and their star first baseman of that run. Ladies and gentlemen, from the 2016 Chicago Cubs, Anthony Rizzo. 86 overall. Take a look at this right here. 61 BABIP, 78 power, 68 avoid K, 77 contact, 88 gap power, and 81 on the eye. Gonna be a little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. 64 BABIP, 80 power, 66 avoid K, 79 contact, 90 gap, and 88 on the eye. Defensively over at first base, pretty darn good. 56 range, 47 error, 54 arm, and 56 on the turn double play. Now 2016 for Anthony Rizzo, this was during the prime of his career. And arguably, this was probably his best year of his career in that 2016 season. Hit 292, 385, 544 during the 2016 season. 32 homers, 109 RBI, and 5.8 wins above replacement. He was an all-star that year. Gold Glover, Silver Slugger, finished 4th in National League MVP, and he was the first left-handed hitter in Chicago Cubs history. Chicago Cubs history to have 40 or more doubles and 30 or more homers in a single season. That's crazy that the Cubs have gone for that long without a left-handed hitter doing that. Pretty darn good. Now, in Dream Bracket play, he hit 182 with 1 homer and 4 RBI during Dream Bracket 2. Lone homer in the tournament came against the 2011 Diamondbacks in the opening round, a 3-run shot off of Micah Owings, which gave the Cubs a 9-8 win in Game 4 of that series. However, Chicago would lose the series in 6 games. So there you go. Anthony Rizzo from the 2016 Chicago Cubs is in. Perfect team, 24. And once again, these go into packs at 1 p.m. Eastern today, Thursday. After the stream. After the stream in the early afternoon. Which is going to be a little bit weird when you see the replay at 9 o'clock tonight. So, there you go. Let's move on. Next card. And we've already had one Yankees card today. How about a second Yankee card? But this time, not going to be from the 61 team. We're going to go to the 1998 Yankees team. And we go to their center fielder who played for a doggone long time. A lot longer than I thought he was going to play. Ladies and gentlemen, 88 overall center fielder from the 98 Yankees, Bernie Williams. Bernie Williams from the Yankees. 1998 season, he hit .339, .422, .575 with 26 homers, 97 RBI, 5.3 wins above replacement. He was a Gold Glover for some reason. All-Star that year, finished 7th in AL MVP. He won the AL batting title that year with that .339 mark. That defensive WAR, though, negative 1.1. Yeah, baby. 85 BABIP, 76 power, 64 avoid K, 93 contact, 78 gap, 78 I. Pretty good against lefties here. 86 BABIP, 72 power, 72 avoid K, 95 contact, 71 gap, and 85 on the eye. This is a solid hitting gold card right here. Very good right here. Center field defense. Don't play this guy in center field. Just don't. If you do, tag me on social media. Let me know how he does. I want to see that glorious negative ZR out there in center field. 57 range, 85 error, and 45 on the outfield arm. 59 speed, 53 stealing, and 67 on the base running. So there you go. Bernie Williams, 88 overall from the 98 Yankees. Pretty good hitter. Not so much a defender. He was actually the first player to win a batting title, Gold Glove, and World Series ring in the same year. Now in his Dream Bracket performance, he was still a good hitter during the Dream Bracket play. Hit .286, 9 RBI during the season, during the tournament I should say. And his 9 RBI was tied for the team lead with Jorge Posada that year. 5 of those RBI came against the 2019 Rays in round 1, and 4 of them came against the 1942 Kansas City Monarchs in round 2, where the Yankees lost in 7 games. So there you go. Bernie Williams from the 98 Yankees is in. Perfect team. 24. And hey, speaking of those 2019 Tampa Bay Rays, probably one of the more underrated Rays squads. This guy came kind of out of a little bit out of nowhere, kind of a known commodity, but he was the big ace for that Tampa Bay Rays team in 2019. The guy they called ground chuck, 89 overall, Charlie Morton. From the 2019 Tampa Bay Rays, the righty. Take a look at his stats, and oh boy, these are some stats right here. 89 stuff, 94 movement, 96 home run rating, 56 pitcher BABIP, 69 on the control. Pretty nice control right there. Against righties, look at the splits against righties here. 96 stuff, 100 movement, 101 home run rating, 60 pitcher BABIP, and 68 on the control. Fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker combo. This guy's going to get you. This guy's not going to give up a whole lot of homers. And he especially did not give up homers in what was pretty much a rabbit ball year in 2019. Went 16-6 with a 3.05 ERA, 11 strikeouts per 9. 11 strikeouts per 9. That's a lot of strikeouts per 9. 2.6 walks per 9, a 144 ERA plus. He was an all-star that year, finished third in the American League Cy Young voting, led MLB in homers per 9 with a .7 rate, which that was pretty high to be a leading MLB kind of score. I mean, everybody was hitting homers in 2019. Everybody was. Hell, I could hit a homer in 2019 off of them balls. In the dream bracket, Charlie Morton was absolutely phenomenal in their round 1 matchup against the 98 Yankees. Arguably one of the only good pitchers they had on the team during that season. Did not record a decision in either of the 2 games he started. He had 15 strikeouts in his 11 innings pitched to just 4 walks, gave up just 1 earned run. Offense didn't really help him though. Rays were defeated in 6 games in their round 1 matchup. But you know what? Charlie Morton, pretty darn good stuff right here. Pretty darn good pitcher from that 2019 Rays squad, and he is in perfect team 24. All right, let's go to some diamond cards. And, you know, let's go to probably one of the team that has, you know, pretty much the record for most wins in a regular season, the 2001 Seattle Mariners. And you know what's better than one Seattle Mariner card with the last name of Martinez? A second one. Edgar Martinez, 91 overall first baseman from that 2001 Seattle Mariner squad. Take a look at the stats on this one. 77 BABIP, 72 power, 65 avoid K, 85 contact, 90 gap, and 109 on the eye. Some very funky splits here. Let's break this down here against lefties. 50 BABIP, 66 power, 85 avoid K, 67 contact, 94 gap, and 121 on the eye. This guy has a monster of an eye right here. Holy cats. Now against righties, gonna be a little more contact oriented here. 86 BABIP, 74 power, 59 avoid K, 91 contact, 89 gap, and 105 on the eye. First base defense, little bit on the mediocre side. 37 range, 39 error, 38 arm, and 39 on the turn double play. He is qualified to learn third base. I really want to see y'all try to play this card at third base. I'm not going to lie to y'all. 14 speed, 61 stealing, and 19 on the base running. 2001 season for Edgar Martinez, just solid as always for this guy. 306 average, 423 on base, 543 slugging, 23 homers, 116 RBI, 4.8 wins above replacement. He was an all-star, Silver Slugger that year, his 7th consecutive 300 season for those 0-1 Mariners. And he was solid in dream bracket play as well. Martinez hit 6 home runs, 6 dingers in dream bracket play, including 2 when the 0-1 Mariners reached the finals of the dream bracket against the 1986 Mets and led all hitters in the tournament with 26 RBI. Pretty darn good stuff right there. Edgar Martinez, very good hitter from the 2001 Seattle Mariners, is in. Perfect team, 24. All right, guys. Next up might be my favorite card of the evening, representing the old English D from the 1984 Detroit Tigers. Ladies and gentlemen, oh man, they're all-world shortstop, Alan Trammell. 93 overall shortstop from the Tigers. Take a look at his stats right here. 74 BABIP, 58 power, 70 avoid K, 79 contact, 77 gap, and 66 on the eye. A lot better against lefties than he is against righties. Look at the defense over at shorts. Not bad. 88 range, 95 error, 90 arm, and 85 on the turn double play. This guy's going to be pretty darn good against lefties. 64 BABIP, 74 power, 82 avoid K, 82 contact, 82 gap, and 86 on the eye. 74 speed, 45 stealing, and 67 on the base running for pretty much the spark plug of that 84 Tigers team right here. 1984 for Alan Trammell. He missed a few games at the beginning of the season, but 314 average, 382 on base, 468 slugging, 14 homers, 69 RBI, and 6.8 wins above replacement. He was an all-star that year, Gold Glover as well, 9th in AL MVP award voting. He was the World Series MVP in the 1984 series and finished 5th in the AL batting race. Now in dream bracket play, he still tore the cover off the ball in the dream bracket. He hit 3 dingers against the 88 A's in games 3, 4, and 6. However, the 84 Tigers, much to my dismay, gave up an 8-run 7th inning in game 7 against those 88 Oakland A's. In game 7, lost to him. Drat. But you know what? Solid card right here for Alan Trammell. He is in. Perfect team. 23, 24, 24. All right, next up, let's go to a more modern day team here. You know, we've kind of gone back and forth here a little bit. Let's go back to some modern day teams right here. And we go to the 2018 Colorado Rockies. Oh man, those 2018 Colorado Rockies, man, oh man, you gotta love them. Them 2018 Colorado Rockies, the last time that the Rockies were even close to relevant. But this guy, the heart and soul of the lineup for that Rockies team, and that was the man who manned the hot corner, Nolan Arenado, 94 overall. Nolan Arenado. Let's take a look at his stats right here. 64 BABIP, 81 power, 65 avoid K, 79 contact, 67 gap power, 70 on the eye. Very good against lefties right here. 79 BABIP, 86 power, 69 avoid K, 94 contact, 85 gap, and 76 on the eye. Defensively over at third base, 89 range, 66 error, 85 arm, and 82 on the turn double play. 18 speed, 12 stealing, and 48 on the base running. Nolan Arenado, that 2018 season, he was pretty much in God mode for the Rockies for quite a long time, including that 2018 season. Hit 297, 374, 561 with 38 dingers. 110 RBI, 6.4 wins above replacement. He was an all-star. He was a Gold Glover. He was the Silver Slugger. He was third in National League MVP that year. His third time in 4 seasons where he led the National League in homers. Now, in Dream Bracket 2 play, Arenado was actually a little bit quieter. The 86 Mets were just too much for them and his teammates. Arenado had just 2 hits, a single, and a Game 4 homer in their round 1 loss to those 86 Mets. Those doggone 86 Mets. Ruining the Rockies' run in Dream Bracket 2 play. But overall, Nolan Arenado, solid season in 2018. There you go. He is in. Perfect team. 24. All right, just a few more cards for y'all tonight. And let's go back to the Washington Nationals. And we go to their World Series season of 2019. And we go to arguably, there were a lot of great pitchers in that Washington rotation. This guy was one of them. Here he is, 95 overall, Steven Strasburg from the 2019 Washington Nationals, 95 overall. Take a look at his stats here. 84 stuff, 87 movement, 84 homer rating, 73 pitcher BABIP, and 71 on the control. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, sinker combo in his repertoire. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. 87 stuff, 88 movement, 84 homer, 76 BABIP, and 75 control against righties. 74 stamina, 49 on the hold runners. 2019 season for Strasburg, the year before his career just kind of derailed a bit. He was absolutely solid in 2019. 18-6 record, 3.32 ERA, 10.8 strikeouts per 9, 2.4 walks per 9, and a 1.35 ERA plus. He was 5th in NL Cy Young Award voting, led the National League in wins and innings pitched with 209 of them during the regular season. He was the World Series MVP as well against the Astros that year. And in the Dream Bracket, he was pretty good, 3-2 with a 3.29 ERA. Two of those wins coming in the opening round against the 1977 Dodgers, but he took the loss in the deciding 6th game against the 1995 Braves in their round of 16 matchup. So there you go. Steven Strasburg from the Washington Nationals 2019 edition is in. Perfect team. 24. All right, next up, this is another one of my favorite cards just for the card art alone, just for the picture on the card alone. And ladies and gentlemen, it comes from the 2011 Milwaukee Brewers. And that card is 96 overall, left fielder, Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun from the 2011 Milwaukee Brewers. Look at the face on this card right here. Look at the face on this card right here. I actually posted this in our work Slack, and people just got a kick out of it. They laughed at that facial expression he's doing on the card there. Goodness gracious. Oh man, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the stats here. 72 BABIP, 86 power, 72 avoid K, 90 contact, 86 gap power, 80 on the eye. A lot better against lefties than he is against righties. 75 BABIP, 92 power, 72 avoid K, 94 contact, 79 gap, and 89 on the eye. He can play left field, is qualified to learn right. 54 range, 108 error, and 63 on the outfield arm. 83 speed, 91 stealing, 87 on the base running as well. So he can run a little bit too. It's not bad. 2011 season, his MVP season. Some say he shouldn't have won the MVP that year. 332, 397, 597 in the 2011 season. 33 homers, 111 RBI, and 7.7 wins above replacement. Once again, 2011 NL MVP. He was an All-Star and a Silver Slugger that year. Led the NL in slugging and OPS with a 994. And in Dream Bracket play, he was absolutely on fire in their first round matchup with the 1995 Braves. He nearly single-handedly eliminated the 95 Braves, but it was not to be, as they would lose in a pivotal Game 7 at home on a walk-off, on a go-ahead dinger in the 9th inning in Game 7 at home to take a first-round exit. Oof. Oof. But either way, Ryan Braun tore the cover off the ball in 2011. Some say there were people that did better than him on that. But either way, there's Ryan Braun, 2011 Milwaukee Brewer in Perfect Team 24. Alrighty, next up we got a couple more cards from you, and this is our last packable card before we show you who the topper for Topps 1 is going to be. Final packable card that you will see in packs today. And it comes from the 2019 Houston Astros, the World Series finalists. And it comes from their hot corner man, Alex Bregman, from the 2019 Houston Astros. Alex Bregman, 59 BABIP, 87 power, 79 avoid K, 83 contact, 73 gap, and 113 on the eye. Look at the splits against lefties right here. 68 BABIP, 102 power, 79 avoid K, 95 contact, 79 gap, and 103 on the eye. This guy is gonna be a lefty killer, guys. This is a lefty killer card right here. And honestly, he can walk pretty well against righties as well. 57 BABIP, 82 power, 79 avoid K, 78 contact, 71 gap, and 116 on the eye. He can play third. He can play a little bit of shortstop as well. 76 range, 71 error, 81 arm, and 71 on the turn double play. 18 speed, 72 stealing, 38 on the base running. 2019, a scintillating season for Alex Bregman. Hit 296, 423. That's a big old gap between average and on base. 592 slugging, 41 home, 41 dingers. Jeez, oh pizza, man. 112 RBI that year, 8.9 wins above replacement. Second in AL MVP. He was an all-star. He was a silver slugger. Led MLB in walks that year with 119 and led them in wins above replacement with 8.9. Dream Bracket. He hit 237 with 4 home runs. Tied for the team lead in homers in their Dream Bracket run, including 2 of them in their first round matchup with the 91 Twins. However, the 2019 Astros would fall short against the 1942 Kansas City Monarchs in the round of 16 in a 6-game series. But there you go. Alex Bregman, 98 overall from the Astros in Perfect Team 24. All right, one last card to show off for you tonight, and it is the topper card. That's right, the topper card for the Topps Dream Bracket set number 1. And that, my friends, comes to us from the 2018 World Series champion Boston Red Sox. And we talked a little bit about AL MVPs here. This guy was the AL MVP in 2018. And that, my friends, is 100 overall Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts from the Boston Red Sox, 2018. Take a look at the stats here, guys. Oh, baby. 89 BABIP, 84 power, 71 avoid K, 102 contact, 98 gap, and 91 I. And look at those splits against lefties. Woo, 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 woo! 92 BABIP, 93 power, 74 avoid K, 109 contact, 115 gap, and 107 on the eye, and that's just against lefties. That is just against lefties. Righties, he's not bad either. 89 BABIP, 81 power, 70 avoid K, 100 contact, 92 gap, 85 I. But man, this guy is going to be a lefty killer, guys. He can play right field mainly. However, he can also play center field as well. 90 range, 112 error, and 72 on the arm. 78 speed, 84 stealing, 76 on the base running as well. 2018, my God, Mookie Betts was just on top of the world. He was pretty much the best player in baseball in 2018. 346, 438, 640 on the slash line. Just an absolutely insane line. 32 homers, 80 RBI, 10.7 wins above replacement. The 2018 AL MVP. He was an all-star. He was a gold glover. He was a silver slugger. He led MLB in average, slugging, and runs scored with 129 of them. Whew! Those are some hot stats right there. Now, in the dream bracket, he did his part to help the Red Sox in that in their first round matchup in dream bracket play against the 2011 Rangers. However, 6 hits and 30 at-bats in 5 games wasn't enough, as the Red Sox were defeated in 5 games against those 2011 Rangers. But man, oh man, Mookie Betts, solid, absolutely solid player. Best player in 2018 on the Boston Red Sox, and he is in Perfect Team 24. So there you have it, guys. The first set of Topps Dream Bracket cards. A lot of great cards here tonight. Just an absolutely scintillating set. All of these cards gonna be in packs at the end of the afternoon stream. If you're watching this in the 9 o'clock replay, they are already in packs. The missions are already out. Guys, this is a fun one right here, guys. This was a fun set here tonight, guys. Really glad you were able to be here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy opening day of the MLB season for 2024. Have a great rest of the day. I'll see you tomorrow for the first edition of the This Week in Perfect Team Friday Showdown. Have a great night, everybody. DishNet34 signing out. Have a great day, everybody.